Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, beautiful, talented, gorgeous? The question is, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened or brilliant about shrinking so that others won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. And as we let our light shine, we self-consciously give others the right to do the same. Our deepest fear. What is your deepest fear? What's up, great people? I am Fabian Fabe Hurd, and I am the founder and CEO of the Fabe Effect. And I am here with you today because you have committed to tapping into your purpose, your gift, what you are here to do on this side of earth. It's time to tap in. But before you tap in, you must first have a purpose statement. So many may ask, Fabe, what is that? What is a purpose statement? A purpose statement is simple. You must know fluently what you want to do in the world. You must know fluently, so much so that you are able to convey that at any moment, at any time, to anyone. Your purpose statement, why, what, who? You have to be able to answer those questions offhand. So I want you to write that down. What is my purpose statement? 3 to 4 sentences is enough. Just be able to convey your purpose. So be able to write that down in your notebooks right now. What is my purpose statement? Now, you may not know it at this moment, but after we finish grinding out this weekend, hopefully you are able to start to draft your purpose statement. Let's get into this. So I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee, Black Haven is what we like to call it. Originally it was White Haven, but the area grew fond of African-American people, so Black Haven is what we call it. BHZ zone, if you want to get technical. And I grew up in an area that was, I would like to call it a disguised hood. Because if you look at it from the outside, it doesn't look too hood. It looks like a, nice middle class neighborhood. However, the people that was in the neighborhood were definitely from other parts of the world. So we made it hood. So I definitely would say I grew up in the hood. And my grandmother raised me. And my grandmother raised me because my mother, she struggled with addiction, and my father did not live in Memphis. So my grandmother took custody of myself and my 2 younger brothers. And that was different. That was hard because we knew that this was our grandmother. We knew our grandfather. We knew that our mother was not in the household. And many of our friends had mothers and had fathers. So it was hard at times, but we disguised it well. We grew up in kind of like a disguise. We always looked at the brighter side of things, even though we knew that we weren't not normal, and we knew that our family situation was not normal. But it was okay because my grandmother, she worked hard and she tried her best to do what she could do for us. But there was something I inherited from my grandmother and from my family, and I'm not throwing shade at my family at all. But I inherited the disposition of believing in myself. I didn't believe in myself at a young age. I didn't believe in myself even in my adult life. And I knew that I inherited because my grandmother, she suffered from depression at times. She suffered from feeling like her life, or the life that she chose, the life that she wanted, did not come to fruition. So we struggled a lot financially, and there were different things that took us through areas where we couldn't go sometime on the trips, and we couldn't afford things. But she did the best she could, and I'm so grateful for her. But I inherited this belief of not believing in myself. And it wasn't until I got to 7th grade I met my teacher, Donald O'Connor. He was my 7th grade choir teacher. Now, this man took the choir to new heights. He took the choir into a performing arts spectrum, and he made us like theater students. So it was my first time being introduced to acting. And I fell in love. I fell in love with acting. It was so amazing to be someone else. Because honestly, I lived in the television. I loved TV. I loved being someone else. I loved feeling like I was a part of other people's life. I knew early on that I did not want to be in Memphis, and I knew I wanted greater for my life. So I would imagine myself in the television. I could have swore that Theo from the Huxtables was my big brother and Claire was my mother. I really wanted to be a part of Saved by the Bell. I wanted to be that student running to school and making it on time before the bell rang. I loved television. So when I met Donald O'Connor, he was the first person that really, truly believed in me. He gave me my first shot to star, to be at the front of something, and it amazed me. And this started my journey to believing in myself. Keyword started, because I still had a long way to go. And I know many of you struggle with this same thing. Believing in yourself. It sounds so simple. Just believe in you. But there's so many layers to you. There's so many layers to who we are. And until we peel back those layers and see the hurt beneath those layers, we will always have a struggle of believing in ourselves. So as a young child, even though I was acting and I was on stage, I struggled with my weight. I was an overweight kid that grew up to be an overweight teenager, that grew up to be an overweight adult. So I always struggled with my weight, and I always struggled with what people saw when they saw me. And so now I stand here at 33 years old, and I can wholeheartedly say I believe in me. But it took so much. You see, I was used to playing the background. I loved pushing people out front. If you know anything about me, I'm a mentor. I mentor young people. I mentor young adults. I mentor teenagers that become young adults. And the hard thing about that is you see so much in other people. You want to see them win so bad, so much so that you forget about yourself. Write that down. Don't forget about me. Don't forget about who you are and what you are put on this earth to do. Time will pass on and those people will move on, discover their purpose, get what they came to get from you, and you are left still in the spot of awaiting the next person to help. But who's going to help you? Who's going to be in your corner? You have to have the power to believe in me. Say that with me. Believe in me. Believe in yourself. No matter what your upbringings were, you cannot control what happened to you, but you can control where you go from there. One of my favorite speakers, Eric Thomas, talks about being homeless, talks about living out of a box, living out of garbage cans, living in his car. He talks about these moments, and he said it wasn't until he decided to pick himself up and stop feeling sorry for himself that he was able to succeed. Stop blaming your mother. Stop blaming your unpresent father. Stop blaming the kids that ridiculed you while you were young. Stop blaming your friends and family and take ownership of your life. The first tip, believe in me. So, something else that contributes to not believing in yourself is that word that we hate to hear, but we use it so often, fear. Fear contributes to losing sight of your purpose. Why are you afraid? Is what I used to ask myself. What are you afraid of? Is what I used to ask myself. And then one day, I looked in the mirror and I told myself, I fear failure. I was afraid to fail. I was afraid to be the person that everyone laughed at and said, try again. So what I did was hide behind everyone else's greatness. I was behind the scenes, pushing someone else out front. And it's okay to get that occasional, thank you, Fabe, and that occasional, you're awesome, Fabe, but it was hidden. So it was okay if I messed up. It was okay if I didn't succeed in pushing someone else, because it was guarding my fear of believing in myself and my purpose. So the second point, fear not. I'm sure you've heard this before, but if you have not, write this down. Fear, false evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. That's all fear is. Fear is something that gets into your mind. And we're going to talk about mindset soon. But fear gets into your mind and it tells you that you are not enough. It tells you that you cannot make it. It tells you that you are not the best. So going after something and still being afraid is hard. But that's the amazing thing about chasing your purpose and chasing your dreams. Do it afraid. Do it scared. Still do it anyway. And if you have the opportunity to get some people around you that actually believe in what you're doing, or some people that push you to be your best, I mean, you are a lucky person. So write that down. False evidence appearing real. That's all fear is. It's not real. Shake it out of your mind. One thing that I tend to do on a daily basis is when I wake up, I thank God for the day. And I ask him to allow me to do anything possible that contributes to my purpose. Anything, whether it's a phone call with a friend, whether it's an opportunity to do life coaching, whether it's an opportunity to stop and help some children out, whatever it is, I want to live on purpose daily. And you should too. Once you tap into your purpose, live on purpose daily. Be intentional about that thing. Be intentional about living on purpose. You see, a lot of times we value things. And one thing we all tend to value is money. But the money will only get you so far. The money will only get you so far. You see, we are seeking happiness. We're trying to be happy. What's that great movie that Will Smith did? The Pursuit of Happiness. We are pursuing happiness when we should be pursuing joy. Joy is eternal. Joy is everlasting. See, happiness is connected to something happening. And what we get tied up into is trying to pursue something while something is happening so that we can be happy. But what happens when something is not happening? What happens when you're not doing the job that you want to be doing? What happens when you're not in the career that you want to be in? What happens when you're not having children that you want to have? Or you're not married yet? Or you haven't found a significant other? Or you're not in college like you want to be? What happens then? What happens when nothing is happening? You have to be pursuing joy, because joy outlasts it all. So fear not. You have to eliminate fear first. And how you do that? You wake up daily and manifest your day. You tell God what you would like to see in your day. You ask God to be in your day, throughout your day. And I promise the mindset would shift. And you will understand that fear is merely false evidence appearing real. One of my favorite movies, one of my all-time favorite movies is The Great Debaters. The Great Debaters it's an array of black excellence. I love to see how young people, even in that time period, were focused and driven and really chasing after their dream. But there was one scene that stuck out to me that I tend to reflect on all the time, and I go on YouTube all the time and play it over because it's just the words really recollect with me. And it was the scene when the professor was teaching the students how to be focused in debating. And he asked them a question. And the question was, Who is the judge? The students will answer, the judge is God. He would then say, why is he the judge? The students would say, because he decides who wins and loses, not my opponent. And then the teacher would say, who is your opponent? The students would say, he doesn't exist. Why doesn't he exist? Because he is a mere descending fact from the truth I speak. So your opponent in life, fear, is just a mindset. And once you shift it, fear eliminates. So don't be afraid to fear not. Stop being afraid of those moments in your life that come with you deciding to do what you have to do in order to do what you want to do. As long as you keep your eye on the prize, as long as you stay focused and you believe that you will get to the promised land, I promise you, you will get there. Take your time. Be intentional about what you are doing. Once you tap into your purpose, fear not. Okay, moving on. It's okay to have competition. It's okay to be in a place where you feel that someone is competing with you, or you feel that someone has the same it factor that you have. You know what I'm talking about. When you find that one person that rubs you the wrong way, not because they're necessarily doing something to you, it's because they have something that you also have, and they may do it a little better, and that's okay. Competition is okay. There's always someone stronger than you. There's always someone that can do what you can do and may do it better. That's not the issue. The issue is your mindset. The issue is how you allow your mind to shift and to be afraid and to knock down and to hate on the other person. Mindset matters. It's okay to be knocked down. It's okay to be on the ground for a while. It's okay to be in a position of defeat. But if I leave and I come back 3 days later and you are still there, your mindset is messed up. Point 3, mindset matters. The mind is the battleground. It's the very place where the most chaos is. There's more drama and energy going on in your mind than there is going on in your day-to-day life. Everything is rooted in your mind, and you have to snip it from the root. And what I mean by that, you have to go back in the reel of your life and figure out at what point did your mind shift. You have to stop pointing the finger. We point the finger a lot. Oh, my daddy wasn't there. My dad was a lowlife. My dad sold drugs. My dad did not do anything for me. My mom, she tried, but she was never at home. So I had to raise myself. I had to cook for myself at 7 years old. How dare you leave a 7-year-old at home by themselves? My friends, what friends? Everyone turned their backs on me. My family, I don't know my family. I don't know that side of my family. I can't trust them. My self-worth, I don't believe in myself. I can't stand what I see when I look in the mirror. Why me? You're pointing the finger. You have to shift your mindset. No one can take control of you but you. Yes, our stories matter. Yes, our upbringings play a part of how we act in our adulthood. But you can change that once you change your mind. So one thing you need to do daily is meditate. Take a moment in your day to stop everything. Even if it's just 10 minutes, stop everything. Put the phone down, close the laptop, turn the TV off, and sit with yourself. Even if it's 10 minutes of straight tears, Sit with yourself. Become familiar with yourself. Become familiar, listen to this, become familiar with the times and the moments where you hate yourself. The times and the moments that you don't feel your best. Because once you're familiar with them, you know what you do not want. Face yourself. Mistakes that you've made. We all make mistakes. We've all done things that we are ashamed of. We've all done things that we pray that are not revealed. But you know that you did it. So be okay with sitting in that. Once you sit in that, shift your mindset. Repent, and then stop blaming you. One of my favorite songs, I Forgive Me, because it talks about taking the time to forgive yourself. So during that meditation, take time to acknowledge your wrong, and then take time to establish hope for your future. It starts with hope. Once you start hoping, then you start believing, then you start achieving. It starts with hope, people. Shift your mindset. After you meditate, speak positivity into your life. Even if you sound crazy, walk around, say that thing out loud. I do it all the time. Fabe, you're great. Fabe, I believe in you. Fabe, you can do it. Fabe, stop doubting. The devil is busy. He's always creeping up on you, trying to change your mindset, and you have to stop him in his tracks. Once you start thinking those negative things about yourself, stop him in his tracks. You start confessing greatness into your life. Greatness matters once your mindset is shifted. Shift your mindset. Change how you think about yourself. Your purpose lies within that shift. I remember my little cousin. She was very charismatic as a child, I guess you could say that. And I think once I became a teenager around 16, I started really taking a responsibility for her. And I really wanted to see her succeed because she was so talented. But she was so afraid and she was so doubtful and she didn't believe in herself. And it bothered me so much because I knew how talented she was and I wanted the world to see it. So I would make up things for her to perform her dances. I would put her in dance groups and get places for them to perform around the neighborhood, around the city, to put her out front. And I remember one day she came to me and she said, I wish I believed in me how you believe in me. And it blew my mind because if you saw her performing, you saw her dancing and singing, you would think that she had the most confidence in the world. And she didn't. And once I had that deep conversation with her, she was still stuck in the position that her mother put her in when her mother called out her name. It made her feel so defeated that she was stuck there. So next you have to get unstuck. You have to stop allowing people around you to position you in a spot and glue you in a spot. Because the world will keep moving and progressing around you and you will remain stuck. Your mindset matters. Change your mindset. And once you get unstuck, claim it. Value it. Claim your place. Claim your spot at the table. Hell, build your own table. But you have to start with shifting your mindset because your mindset matters. Okay, we're wrapping this thing up, y'all. I want to close with this. Execution. It's time to execute. See, a lot of people don't ever get to this step. A lot of people don't understand how to execute. Okay, I found my purpose. I'm doing this thing. I'm waking up every day. I'm doing meditation. I'm claiming it. I'm moving, but I'm not leveling up because you have to know how to execute. There are some components that contribute to execute. I know you've heard your skill set matters. Sharpen your skills. Your skills are important, and they are. However, Phenomenal skill is nothing without a phenomenal will. You have to have the willpower to get things done. Write that down. Phenomenal skill is nothing without phenomenal will. I will finish it. I will get to the end. I will be the change I wish to see. I will do anything in my power to get it done. Execution. You see, we all are focused on making money, and I'm not saying that's wrong. We should all want to be in a great place financially. I think that's a goal for everyone, and it's not wrong because the root of evil is the love of money. But it's okay to want money. It's okay to have money and want to be financially stable. But you won't make the big bucks by talking. Talking the talk ain't gonna get you there. You must be able to walk the walk. You must be able to do these things. You must be able to what? Execute. You have to be able to execute. No one is going to put as much energy into your purpose, into your goals, more than you. No one. Not even Fabe. No one is going to put as much energy into you, but you. But we failed at that. We don't stay consistent. Consistency matters. Write that down. Your consistency is what pushes you to being an executor. You have to be consistent. Many of you on this call, many of you in this conference follow me on social media. And I will be honest, social media sometimes gets to me because I want to have a lot of followers. I want to be impactful. I want to have shares. I want people to hear what I'm saying and believe in what I'm saying. And I want people to change because of me. However, social media can mess you up because it may not reflect how you want it to reflect. One post may get 90 likes. One post may get 9. And it can be so frustrating sometimes. I'm being transparent. It can be so frustrating sometimes. But someone once told me, be consistent, Fabe. Stay consistent, Fabe. So every day I get up and I post. Every day I get up and I record. Every Wednesday, I put it out there. Every Friday, I put it out there. I'm still selling apparel every time. Some maybe one sale in a whole week, but I'm going to stay consistent because one of my greatest friends said this the other day. It's like throwing mud on a wall. If you throw enough mud on the wall, something will stick. So you have to believe that too. Something will stick. Keep throwing it. Keep chucking that mud at the wall. Execute daily. You must be an executor. You must be consistent. And secondly, you have to follow through. Follow through. Be a man and a woman of your word. If you said you were going to do something, do it the first time. Do what you say you are going to do. Stop having people wait on you. Wait on you to get it together. Because eventually they're going to leave you because you haven't gotten it together. So execution, you have to be consistent and you have to follow through. And last but certainly not least, you have to be able to pay it forward. And how do you do that? You reach back. Bring somebody else up. Don't just get successful. Don't just get to walking into your own glory and ha, 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 and he, and ah, and forget that it took a we to get you there. It took people making sacrifices to get you there. It took people investing to get you there. So don't forget about people who are looking up to you, looking at you, following you, wanting you to be the best. At some point in your success, stop and acknowledge and give them flowers. Execution is so vital, people. You have to be able to execute your vision, execute your plan. Be okay with the delay in your success. There's going to be a delay. One thing I learned early on about myself, I am impatient. So impatient. I want it to happen now. I want to put it out there. I want it to get sent to Jay-Z or Beyonce or somebody powerful, and I want them to post it, and I want to be on TV saying, yeah, back in the day around a week ago, I had a vision, and now my vision is here. But the reality of that, that's not how it's going to happen. It's going to take time. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take moments where you execute. Celebrate your small wins. Those small wins eventually become big wins. I get so excited sometimes when I'm thinking about people that I've come in contact with and to see that them be successful and to see them live on purpose. I get so excited because I want to see more people do that. You only get one life. You only get one life. And if you don't do whatever's in your power to get to where you want to get, can you truly say you lived? That's why I'm pushing the narrative to live on purpose. Be intentional about your living. Be intentional about the things that you want to do in your life. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to stop what you're doing sometime and meditate and ask God for direction. Don't be afraid to fail. Failing doesn't mean you're a failure. Failure is a stepping stone. It's important to fail sometimes because you know and you learn what not to do. Don't be afraid to take the necessary steps to live on purpose. Just like my speakers have said before in the previous days, discover it. Discovery is important. Discover what it is that makes you happy, what fulfills you. That's the beginning of your purpose. Then second, tap into that discipline. Something that is very hard to do is find discipline. There's power in your routine. Tap into your routine. Get a routine that you do daily. Find discipline to shut off from the world and focus on your growth in your level. Then move on to living a purpose lifestyle. Your lifestyle matters. What surrounds you matter. Your home matters. Your peace matters. Watch this. The people around you contribute to your lifestyle. So that matters. Watch out for the people around you. And then be unapologetically you. Be unapologetically you. Bring you to the table. What makes you unique? What makes you set apart from everyone else? And last, execute. Execution is the key to living on purpose. Follow through. Finish it. Finish it. Whatever you said you were going to do, finish it. Finish those steps. Finish what you are doing. Don't be afraid to execute. Execution matters. Tip 4, execution matters. So in closing, I want to say, first and foremost, thank you from the bottom of my heart for tapping in to this conference, this virtual experience. This is the first of many. The next one will be in person. I am claiming it. I'm claiming this corona to be out of the way, and we are going to be live in Atlanta, Georgia on next year. But before we get to next year, I want you all to be able to tap into these moments on an everyday basis. So I'm coming out with a journal, the Tap Into Your Purpose journal. And the journal would include all of these layers, from discovery, from discipline, from lifestyle, from unapologetically you to execution. And it will be broken down into segments where you can write in the moments that you are meditating, write in when you're feeling doubtful, and read back over those elements of discovery and go back to that layer if you have to go back there, and write in when, at what moment you feel you discovered your purpose and you discovered what you wanted to do in the world, and start executing that thing. So I want to leave y'all with that journal. Those journals will be on sale at the top of the year, so look out for that. And also, as I end every day on Friday, I also want to end this conference with this quote. This quote is something that's near and dear to my heart. It's something that's derived out of my life and my experience. And that quote is, and I know you all know it, so say it with me: the best leader works to make even better leaders. It's time to do the work. Let's tap into our purpose.